name is Thomas Boulogne. I retired from the college as Dean of the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies. And I also, when Sir Leton Thomas was principal, I was a lecturer teaching construction technicians, carpentry and joinery, and students of the OECS Technical Teachers Training Program. And I knew Sir Leton Thomas before he became principal of South Community College, because I was a teacher at the Mon Fortune Technical College from 1975, and he was at that time Chief Education Officer at some point, and also the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education. So I had to deal with him during that period, even before he became principal of the college. And I also worked with him as principal of the college, and also as the Central Teachers Union staff representative on the Management and Finance Committee of the college. And also, when he retired, we also worked together on the transformation of the college from community college to university and college. So we worked on these committees. So Leton came to the college with a very strong and decisive leadership. And we saw the college being the envy of the region. People came to the college for many things, and they were amazed at the level of documentation that existed at the college in terms of its programs and various other things that the college had. He was a visionary. When he introduced the college's original logo, he had me to construct a three-dimensional version of that logo, and that logo was placed at the entrance on the wall, right next to the entrance gate of the college, just adjacent to what used to be called the Kamdu building, and the steps leading to the original Mont Fortune Technical College administrative building. And this logo attracted a lot of persons, students, staff, visitors alike took photographs right next to this logo. And he also had a strong maintenance culture. He made sure that the buildings and the surroundings were well kept. He had a keen interest in carpentry and joinery, because he used to visit the workshop very often to see the students at work. And he told me if I was wondering why he had so much interest in this area, because his father had been a carpenter and joiner, so he knew a little about carpentry and joinery. So it was always he was always interested in coming to see what was being done at the workshops. And I recall that he was very particular about the environment and the graduation ceremonies of the college. He was very much he was very pleased about having the graduation ceremony on the college grounds. So if it would be, we would have had a plan B in case of inclement weather to have it elsewhere, maybe like the cathedral, but he preferred the college grounds. This helped to maintain the buildings as well. So it means that every year there was always a pressure washing and taking care of the environment, making sure, because we were having lots of visitors on the compound. So this also helped tremendously. I knew him also as an individual, and he knew my wife and my children. And when we met very often, he would have asked me about them. And he was an individual that I was able to go to and talk with, discuss things with. And he was the type of mentor that I would have emulated. You know, he was a very good listener. He was interested in staff development, and he had also succession planning. in place at the college. And he was also a meritorious individual. Meritocracy was what I can say is a key word for him. He made sure that individuals who were qualified were able to get into positions and so on. And like I said, in terms of succession planning, in the large divisions, for example, we had assistant deans, so therefore we were aware that if the dean were to be moved up to a different level, at a higher level, there was somebody else to fit in. So there was an administrative structure at the college. And for example, also, there were some positions like senior lecturer and so on, you're required to have administrative experience. And that was facilitated because you can't really ask for administrative experience, you don't provide the opportunity for administrative experience to the staff. So in the administrative structure, they would have had the heads of department and coordinators and things of this sort. So in those areas, individuals were able to acquire the skills necessary to help in the areas that were needed. So he had a vision for the college. He wanted to make sure there was a cadre of very well educated, trained tutors at the college, staff generally. The 4 college scholarships that were guaranteed by the government were used very much to help staff to upgrade themselves, to return to the college, going overseas and return to the college. And like I said, he was very concerned about succession, even so much so that individuals sometimes felt it was their turn to go out. Then if it was felt that persons were concerned about that, I know, for instance, he called individuals to his office to explain why it is that this person is going ahead of you, you will have to follow. And he was a man of his word, and that happened. You know, it is not a case that they would tell you, okay, go and do so and so, and then you'll be next. You were next. You know, he made sure that there was that kind of succession planning, and he was making sure that the college was on good grounds. I thought he set a very solid foundation for the college. And like I said, he was a very good listener. And I can give an example of that because on the Management and Finance Committee, we had both staff and student representatives at the college. And the student representatives at one time indicated that they were concerned about the fact that they had to pay, as part of the college fees, transportation fees. At that time, the buses were what we now know as Derek Walcott Square. The buses took the students from there to the Mon and back. And students during that time, if they wanted to walk to get off the Mon, they had to walk through Bakache, the back road. There were no buses as such to take students on the Mon. And if students were late, they had to walk up the Mon. So the students were concerned. And the students also indicated that not many of them, well, some of them, a significant number of them were not making use of the buses because they were coming from La Bridge, Beaufort, and Slurry, Soufrière, south of the Mon. So why should they have to pay transportation fees as part of the fees of the college? And he listened and he said, okay, that's it, then you find your own way. Then the Mon bus stop was created and it helped the community generally. So now people see people going up the Mon, and the people who live there and all these places were now able to get regular buses because they were able to use the same buses that were transporting the students up the Mon. So these were among the things that happened, you know, for at the college. And when I said again, he was concerned about individuals doing community service. The college is a community college, and he ensured that the rules and regulations of the college were enforced. So much so that at the end of the year, when staff had to do their evaluation, their assessments, and so on, they had to indicate what form of community service they had been engaged with during the year. So that was important. And as a matter of fact, staff were able to get a merit point, an additional pay, well, at the time maybe $50 more a year on their salary for having acquired a merit point, because they'll get a merit point based on their performance outside of the teaching that they were required to do. So staff were not just here to teach. It's a community college, and they had to show their involvement. Where did you participate in community work? What did you do? So if one were to apply for a position at the college, one would have had to demonstrate where did that individual show community service. And of course, we knew teachers are responsible for a lot of things happening in the communities. And as a matter of fact, this was one way that the college community was helping the community generally. So staff that encouraged staff to get involved in community activities, because if you are hoping to apply for a scholarship, you're hoping to apply for a job at a higher level, you had to show evidence that you were not just teaching, you were doing something else, and you were helping students or helping the community in various forms. So I thought there were very good structures in place. He set a very good tone for others to build on, and the college and the country benefited tremendously from such an individual being at the helm of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. There is also on the lighter side, we all know how Sir Leton Thomas was a very serious individual, and I remember on a few occasions I met him by the VG beach, doing his little exercises and little exercises and his stretches and so on. So you can imagine the smile that came to my face, I was seeing him, and he realized I saw him, the first time as well, and I met him afterwards. It was okay, but when I saw him the first time, I was very surprised to see Sir Leton Thomas doing his exercises. So he was concerned about exercising. He was concerned about fitness. He also cherished the fact that the college was seen as the flagship institution of the region. And when we spoke about Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, we were well respected everywhere in the region. When we traveled, when I worked as in my work as a member of staff, and when we worked elsewhere, even when we went outside during the summer training programs we offered, people had high respect, high regard for persons coming from Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. So the college benefited a lot from this individual. And like I said, he was an individual that was very concerned about the development of the college and the people and the community generally. He was. He also attended sports meets. One of the houses of the college is named after him. So he attended those sessions, but proudly supported the students generally, at these various activities. So I think we have lost a very powerful individual. I think he did very well. There are those who say that the visionaries of yesterday created or they established Sir Arthur Lewis Community College ahead of its time. Be that as it may, I think we could not have had a better individual as head of the institution. He had a very wealth of knowledge, skills and experience, and influence he had generally in education and as well with the government. So he was able to get a lot done at the college that another individual may not have been able to get. So the power and influence that he had helped in many ways to help the college obtain some of what it needed from the government at the time. So I cherish the moments that I spent with him, and I learned a great deal from him. Like I said, on the Management and Finance Committee of the college, and as well as being a lecturer at the college. and working with him on different projects at the college. I held him in high regard, and I think he did very well for the college. So a lot of persons who were able to build on the work that he had done at the college.